So welcome, my friends. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of AEI Ed Talk. My name is Dr. Lisa Helton, the CEO of AEI, which provides online education internationally. Our feature program today is about the summer English acquisition courses that we're going to be having. We'll talk to you a little bit about that later at the end, but right now we have a special promotion going, and that is going to be for a very good price that we're starting here in June. So those who need the IELTS, the TOEFL, the PTE, or just are interested in English acquisition, you want to come to AEI. We've got special promotion for this summer. So we're broadcasting from AEI headquarters right here in the beautiful and sunny Tampa Bay, Florida, in the United States of America. And today we're speaking with Farah Masood, a very renowned educator, well-known, renowned, experienced, seasoned educator in Saudi Arabia right now. But she has ties all over the Gulf region and has worked with many students in that area in India and throughout the Gulf region. So we would just like to talk about what is happening with education internationally. So welcome, Farah. Now, everybody in your region, you have a sign of respect where you say, ma'am, Farah Masood, or ma'am. Explain that, how you all address each other, because in America, unfortunately, we do not.
Thank you, Dr. Lisa. It's really wonderful and a privilege to be part of this podcast and your Ed Talks. I'm here in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, and as you rightly said, I'm an educationist and in the field of school education for the last more than 25 years. So I work in an Indian school, which follows the CBSE curriculum, affiliated to the CBSE in Delhi, in New Delhi. But all our students live here in Saudi Arabia. And here, yes, the students call their teachers as ma'am, and also us, they address me. I am known as Farah ma'am. So that is how they all know me. It's like a name. My second name is ma'am, Farah ma'am. You just ask anyone, Farah ma'am, in Jeddah, and they would definitely know. That is how they address the teachers here. Either they call them teacher or ma'am.
I love it. I love it. And so for the podcast today, how do you want us to call you? Do you want us to say Farah ma'am, or do you want us to say Miss Masood?
You are a good friend of mine. You can just call me Farah.
Great. Thank you. And you could just call me Lisa. So that's good, as usual.
Sure.
But we're talking about, one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast is because a lot of education systems throughout the world are only familiar with the way that their own education systems operate. In America, we are not familiar with the way your school systems are working. And so tell us a little bit about how your program runs. The students start at what time of the year, and what do they usually do throughout? What kinds of courses are they taking? What are some of the requirements that you have in your region?
Here in the Indian curriculum, we specifically follow the Central Board of Secondary Education curriculum, whereas throughout India, you have, even the states, each state, they have their own curriculum. And broadly, they cover a major curriculum, which is just modified to suit each state. So in the school of ours, the children enter at the age of 3.5 into the first level of kindergarten, which is called as the lower kindergarten. And then they go to upper kindergarten and so on till grade 12, grade 1 to grade 12. We call it as grade 1 to grade 12. Under the new education policy 2020. So from this year, they are implementing the starting, that is the primary education as, 3 plus 5. So we have 3 levels at kindergarten, which is going to be the entry level, which is what we usually call as the playgroup, and then 2 levels of kindergarten, and then 1 and 2 3 to 5, and then we have the 6, 7, 8 classes, and 9, 10, 11, 12. This is how the setup is. And at kindergarten level, we have, this primary, the early childhood education, where the focus is on numeracy, literacy, and development of psychomotor skills, social skills, creative skills, and so on and so forth. So there are a lot of activities designed in the classrooms. And since our school is a, very heterogeneous school where we have children from all the states of India, we have. So that's something really unique and special. So the teacher has to modify her teaching according to the different children coming from different states, speaking different languages, where English is going to be the common language in the classroom. So they design activities. In the beginning, the teacher has to be a little, bilingual. And then she has to take help from other teachers if she doesn't know a few languages. But then by and by, the children understand the teacher's instructions, and they all flow into conversing in English with the teacher. So throughout from kindergarten till grade 12, we have the medium of instruction is English. And for the primary classes, we have English, and then they have the math, social science, which is generally the history, geography, and political science. And then they have science, which is majorly for the smaller classes, it is the environmental science. And then as they move up, they have, both the physical science as well as biology. It splits into that. And then they have a language. So Hindi is a second language because it's the national language of India. So they study Hindi from LKG, the lower kindergarten, till grade 8. The second language is Hindi. And they are offered a third language also. A third language is a choice, which is their mother tongue. Because the Indian system majorly believes that the children have to learn their mother tongue. So we do have in our school around 4 or 5 languages catering, because we need to find qualified teachers. And as they move towards the 9, 10 classes, then it shortens to just the second language, which they get to choose again out of the 4 or 5 languages that we have. Otherwise, it is English. Then they have the math, science, social science, and one language. We also have a system of choosing a 6th subject, which is a skill subject, a vocational subject. It's totally in the choice of the child to choose the 6th subject. And the same applies to 11 and 12, where they branch into science, commerce, and humanities. So we have all the science subjects. Yes, science, commerce, and humanities, where English is the common language for all the subjects.
Well, it sounds like what I like about what you said about the structure is that at each level in America, we'll have grades, kindergarten, first, second, all the way up to 12th. It sounds like within those levels, grade levels, that you do break down that year of learning into purposes. Like you have the different levels of learning. I really like that about what your system does. With ed tech, AEI is all ed tech, but we're working with schools that want to utilize what we're doing on site as well. So in a way, in some places it's hybrid. I have found that the challenges that the teachers are facing really seem to be because of the different levels of the students and because of the English gaps. What would you say the challenges would be that you all are facing?
The challenges that we face in our school specifically is that the children come from different backgrounds. It's not a very homogeneous structure. We have children coming from backgrounds where they are the first generation learners. So they absolutely don't get any help from home. The parents are not able to help them. They may be educated, but some of them are educated in the local languages. So English is going to be a challenge for such children. So we design our curriculum and the teaching in a way that we reach out to all these children. And we even have different structures in each classroom based on the requirements, so that we are able to reach out to all these children. These are the challenges that we face in our system. And coming back to your first question, we begin our curriculum, that is the academic session, in the month of April. From the 1st of April till March 31st is the academic session for our school. And since we are in Saudi Arabia, we will have to break down for a summer break, a long summer break, which is the months of July and August, because the weather is extremely hot. Right now, we are approaching towards that, and it's pretty hot today, goes up to 40, and then it may cross 40 as we go to July and August. So we'll be going on vacation now, and we'll be back by 20th August. And we have a short break in December for the
So
Christmas and New
so
Year.
your temperature, excuse me, I sorry to interrupt you. So your temperature, you said 40, so you go by Celsius. We use Fahrenheit.
Yes.
So that would translate to what? I think that's going to be, what's the conversion of 40 Celsius to Fahrenheit? Let's see. Let's check that out.
Yes.
I definitely think that's going to be over 130 degrees. That can't be right. Let's see. That is going to be interesting. Let's check that out. What is
104.
104? Oh, 104, not
Yes.
40. Okay, good. All right. Yeah, 104
Yeah.
degrees
So, and it
Fahrenheit.
goes above. It goes a little above that. In some of the places, it's really very hot. It's like when you don't have a, I mean, an air conditioner, it's like you're in an oven.
So if we're planning, so the AEI, the students that you have that are, let's say they're around 16 or older, 15 or older, that are interested in the student exchange, the time for them to come to America would be July and August, because you are
Yes, absolutely.
out of school. You're at your last day of school is June what? Or no, it's
Now
May
this year it's June
31st.
22nd.
Oh, June 22nd. And this is in the
Yes.
Saudi Arabia region, not in India. India goes a little bit.
Not in India. India
Yeah.
now they open in June. They would have just started now because of the heat. Even they have postponed it because of the heat. But I think from Monday the schools will begin there too.
Okay. So July and August is actually a good time for the students in Saudi Arabia to do the student exchange. And so the Florida heat won't be anything compared to what you all are used to facing. So it'll be cool
Yeah.
to you. Yeah, we have warm summers here, but nothing to that level. And we're surrounded by water. What about you all? Where you are, do you get a chance to go and enjoy anything while you're there to try to, make it bearable while you're teaching?
Yes, we do have a beach here, a beautiful beach. We do have Cornish Beach, and we are surrounded by water too. But still, this is a desert, so the land heat just heats up like anything during summer, quite unbearable. And Jeddah does not have very extreme winters, though we have extreme summers. Even the summer is compared to other cities like Dammam and Riyadh. The summer is bearable here. Dammam and Riyadh has both extreme. They have very hot summers and very cold winters. So we don't have very cold winters also. It's very pleasant and very nice during, say, October, November, December, Jan, and Feb. So those months we really enjoy staying in Jeddah. We do have lovely beaches, malls, and beautiful places to go here. And in the school, of course, it's all air conditioned. So children are, comfortable once they are inside the classrooms, auditorium, everything. We shut off all outdoor activities.
Yeah.
These days, we
Yeah.
don't have any outdoor activities.
Right. I would think that we have that in common. Probably it's most everybody has a pool here or access to a pool in the summertime. So in America, we have different time zones all the way across. And as you know, the West Coast is quite different than the East Coast. So we are in the Southeast, but we're the most furthest south. But we have some states over on the western part that are desert as well. And so I would imagine that's probably similar. So our Arizona and places like that. So I would imagine that that's what happens here. But so beyond just the weather, what are the students doing and the teachers and the school systems doing while the students are on summer break to see that they are accomplishing goals and moving forward academically? Like during that time, what do you do?
Generally, the senior girls, that is, I'm talking about the high school and the higher secondary students. like all the Indian students, not only the Indians, the other expat schools, they would all fly back to their home country. Very few people stay back here because the weather is really bad and they all have to see their families. So even when they are on their vacation in India, especially our students I'm talking about, both the girls and the boys, they do have classes fixed for them there. Preparation for their, you can say, entrance exams for entry into college right from grade 9. So they enter into these coaching centers, preparing themselves for courses, and the NEET examination for medical entrance and engineering examinations, and even for the CA entrance examinations and law entrance examinations. So all entrance examinations. And more than that, our students and the parents, they start looking out for the universities, the courses, and the colleges, not only in India, but also in all other countries. And America being one of their favorites, we do have a lot of our students who have studied in America, who are settled in America, and we have their families also settled there. So we find children moving to America, to Canada, and then to UK, and also to the Gulf, that is Dubai, which is a neighboring country for us. They do go there also to study, and the rest they all go to India to take up their different courses. So the preparation starts from grade 9. So this is what they do. They take up short courses. And for the smaller children, there are many summer courses which are there in India. When these children go, they can join, a few courses which are there, like coding and handwriting courses, and whatever they can do within that short time, they do it. And those children who stay here, for the locals here too, the Saudi government designs certain activities for them. Other than, even they do travel. The Saudis also travel and they go abroad. They move to America or to London or to Canada. These are their three, favorite destinations. And then the rest who stay back, they also do some short courses. And there's a lot of focus on, English language courses here in the Saudi Arabia too.
Yeah. So what would you say the highest goal would be during that time? Would it be for the families? Would it be thinking about higher education or would it be English proficiency? What would be the main goals that they would be accomplishing during the coaching time?
I think for our own students, that is for the students of, the school where I work, English acquisition would not be much of a problem because we focus a lot on grammar and writing tasks. So for our students, it'll be more of, preparation for the higher education and maybe the dual diploma that you were talking about. And for the Saudi children that is the locals, I've, talked to a few friends of mine and acquaintances who work in the private schools here. Here we do have the public schools and the private schools. So the Saudi children, they do go to the private and the public schools. The private schools, they have the complete education in English. And most of them are, like you can say, you can divide them as 50-50, the British curriculum and the American curriculum. I've been talking to a few of them. Like when you had given me this invitation, I had been talking to a few of them to find out what kind of, courses they have. And I'm still working on it. And I've come to know that they do write the American diploma exams as well as the British, the diploma. But I'm still not sure whether they get the credits that you offer. So that is something that I'll have to ask them, which may be a major advantage if they join AEI for the dual diploma. Even the students who are already in the American and the British curriculum here. So I've been talking to a few of them and trying to learn because this is something new to me. I've always been throughout my life in the Indian curriculum, and this is quite interesting. And I feel it's really beneficial for those children who decide that, yes, I'm going to go to America to study. I think you're offering something which is very valuable and very convenient for the parents also and the children, that sitting at home alongside their own curriculum, they'll be able to do the dual diploma and be able to get into admission there in the USA. So that's something really, I'll say attractive.
Yes. And do you think that the parents understand the value of having two different high school diplomas, one from their native country and one from America? Would they understand the value of having these two?
I'm sure, like, if we are able to reach out to them and we explain it to them and I'm sure they will know the value. May not be a large number, but definitely we will have parents, because parents these days, what I see is most of the children, their dream is to go abroad and study, and America being the top on the list. So the
Mm,
parents will find this convenient rather than, now I know a lot of students who are applying to different universities, and then they have to prepare for SATs and IELTS and so many things, and they have to visit agents who will be guiding them, because they have no clue about how they should go about
mhm.
this admissions. And there are students who come to us in school, to their own teachers, they come back to school. So I think if these parents are introduced to AEI, and if they join hands with you, I'm sure that their life is going to become very easy, because they're going to have all the information that they need for their children to go and study in USA, in one platform, just if they just join AEI.
Yeah, and I was
Because
just,
I've learned so much. I have
yeah,
learned so much.
I've just been feeling so burdened for the parents because, and the students, because I found out in speaking with you and some of the team that we have for AEI that's based in India and based in the Gulf region area, that people have been going to education agents and spending a lot of money in order to go to colleges. But I learned that they're not being fed the college that's best for them, first of all, with what they're studying. I learned that they were spending a lot of money, and all they were doing was getting a letter, saying that they were on a list somewhere. There have been horror stories with that. So one of the things that we wanted to make the parents aware of is that they get the college admissions counseling and support and everything that they would get from an education agent, but actually the real deal within AEI. How do you think that would help parents? Do you think that's going to benefit them to know this?
Yes, definitely, because parents are, very eager when they visit the school. Even we have career guidance programs. We bring specialists from India, and there are universities from Canada, US, and even Singapore and other places that visit our school, and then they talk to the parents. But most of them, we find that they are looking for admissions. They're looking for admissions in their own colleges.
Yeah.
So the children need a proper, like a direction to know where and how to go, and without wasting their money. So I think AEI would be that one, stop for them, where they'll get all the information about the courses, and sitting in the comfort of their homes, they'll be able to get a dual diploma, an American
Mhm.
diploma, which will have value in US, which will enable them to get into one of the colleges, their own college, like wherever they choose. And under the guidance of AEI, they'll be able to get the authentic, information, instead of going to agents. Because agents, even when I had gone for my children, they give us only limited universities with which they have a tie-up, and they start convincing us to, why that is the best university. And so
Mhm.
the children also, when they start listening, they get carried away by it, and they don't know, because children are children. They insist, no, no, he said that is, he knows, he's an experienced person. So if it is through an education, you can say a forum that runs the education school system, and a person who, like you, who has a lot of experience in education, who only cares for the students, I'm sure it's going to be very beneficial for the parents. Parents would really love to hear from someone who would like to give them information that is authentic.
Yes, and I think what we have to realize as parents and as educators is that we need to find out what the interests and the gifts are of the students. So before they get into any college, before they choose a university, we have to make sure that that university is aligned to what they really want to study, what their areas of interest are, that's going to match a good career. I can, just to get a degree is no longer going to help. You have to get a degree in an area that's going to match a career, that's going to be a good livelihood. And so by having the kids a part of AEI and they're studying and they're doing the courses with us, we would be giving the families the workshops, educating them along the way. Also, along the way, the students are getting not one coaching session, but multiple coaching sessions along with the family, so that before any decisions are made, they're confident in those decisions. And then they have someone on site in America to help them with the necessary steps and requirements of the different colleges. So anybody can go to any of the colleges in the United States as long as they meet the requirements. And so you need to have somebody who helps the students meet those requirements along the way. And that's going to be, if they graduate from AEI, a lot of the American K-12 program, and they're getting a dual diploma, a lot of that means that they won't necessarily need the TOEFL or IELTS and those kinds of things. Instead, they can get that if they're not graduating from AEI. They might find that necessary in their native country, but it's not going to be necessary in America if they graduate from an English school, from American Education International. So what do you think about that? Like, that is a big
That's amazing.
benefit.
That's amazing. Yes, that's absolutely amazing. Something which I think our, the students and the parents are not aware of. And also, I would like to know a little more about, the transfer of the subjects that they study in our own curriculum, because we do have mathematics and science also, which is, do they have to study all the 5 subjects? This is one doubt that the students may have, that already we have a curriculum set going. And if we have to study the same subjects again in the American diploma, it's going to be a little burdensome for them. So is there any kind of, facility for the children where they can transfer their grades from the Indian curriculum or any other curriculum to the American diploma to reduce their burden in the American diploma?
Absolutely. So they're not going to need to retake any of the courses that match the requirements that we have in Florida. So the math, the sciences, many of the courses are going to transfer over, and they will get credit from AEI, from the K-12 program that we have. They'll get those credits for their graduation requirements transferred. Probably at what we're looking at is maybe about 6 courses they will need, which is 25% of their courses they will need to take with AEI, which is likely going to be the American history, because that's not going to be in your curriculum, the US government courses, the courses that are missing from what is going to be in the Eastern region. Definitely the English classes are going to be necessary. So I would think it's going to be anywhere from 6 to 10 of the courses would be required to take with AEI. And I would imagine all of the others are going to transfer. We have to analyze the transcripts, but generally people that are the educators that are working with us already know what those courses are and how that would be set up. So our admissions team is very strong with being able to show what that is, what's going to be required. The other thing is that we want to encourage the students in the advanced placement areas, because those courses are also going to count as college credit. So some of those dual courses, not only are they going to get a dual diploma, but they're going to start off with college credit while they're enrolled with AEI, already starting with some course credit there. So those are some huge benefits, and it's just a matter of making people aware, because while you are studying, you're already going to coaching centers, you're already spending time. Why not spend the time where it's going to add value to your life and open up the options for your life? So if you're going to do this, why not make the decision? You're choosing, you have to do it anyway. Why not choose the better option that gives you the better opportunities? You know?
Yes, right. Right. This is really amazing. And I'm sure this is going to attract the students and the parents too, because it's not going to be a huge burden for the students. They'll be able to focus on their, ongoing curriculum and do these subjects side by side, since it's going to be online and spread over the year. I think they can do it conveniently and focus more on the American, curriculum during the summer break. And then they'll be able to get their diploma. And the best part is that they're going to begin their credits. That's something really which no other curriculum is giving them. Yes.
Exactly, exactly. So we do have these programs that we're offering this summer. It would be wonderful. So those of you who are listening, we're sharing this with you right now. It might be good for you to think about this, because we're going to be starting the classes the last week of June and the beginning of July as well for different groups. So those who are going to be learning just the English and just wanting to be in the summer coaching for English acquisition, maybe you need the TOEFL, the IELTS, the PTE, we're going to be here for you for those. But those who are interested in earning a dual diploma, you want to jump on board and start some of your courses. One of the things that we decided was, instead of giving them all of the classes at once, we were going to allow them to work through the different classes one at a time, maybe two at a time. So if you can imagine a student who is getting into grade 12, then that means, and they want to get the diploma because they're thinking about their higher ed opportunities. That means that they would get all of their courses in 1 year. So we would structure their classes so that they can complete those courses in 1 year. If they are in grade 11, we would be able to stretch out their courses over 2 years. And then if they're in grade 10, they would stretch out over 3, and same way with grade 9, only over 4 years. And so that is one of the things that we want to get out to the parents, so that they don't think that they're going to come and take a full load where they are right now in their homeschool, where they go, and then all of a sudden they're going to get online and they're going to have 5, 6 courses at once online. And so, but that's not the way it is. So that's one of the things we want to let the parents know about that. The other thing is that we have weekend course. When school starts back up, they can literally take their classes on the weekends while they're going to school. In their homeschool, they can go to AEI on the weekends when they're out of school. So the flexibility, what do you think about the flexibility and the tailor-made courses
really
for
good.
the students?
Yes. So that's really good. That's going to be a major attraction, because weekends are, better for the students, as on the working days, they have their own clubs, and then they go for the sport activities after the school hours. And then they have their tuitions where they go for the additional coaching for subjects like mathematics and physics, etc. So, the weekend would be an amazing option for them. So, it'll be a little flexible. They get their rest, as well as they'll be able to do these courses.
And I find on the American side that the American teachers love to work with the children in the eastern part of the world because they're such good students. We don't seem to have, I'm not going to say Americans in general, but many do not have the discipline, and the families do not enforce the amount of time to study and to think about higher education or to think about career. Even if it's not higher education, you have to be thinking about what direction you want to take your life. And that is always going to come by preparing yourself, developing yourself, growth of some form. Video games, you might enjoy that, but that's not going to get you anywhere. Maybe you're going to improve a little bit in some area with reflexing, So tell me, what some of the goals or the careers that you think a lot of your students are interested in, and what kinds of programs they might study in higher education with your students? What's the trend right now?
The trend that I see is students are a lot interested in doing courses in medicine. And the second one, which they are very much interested in, is psychology. Every second student that I ask, what do you think you would be doing? They say psychology. They are, that's a word that has come up into their lives now. And a lot of students are interested in doing psychology. And of course, the different disciplines in engineering also. The different sciences also they prefer doing. And there are students who would like to go become chartered accountants, and they would like to do actuarial, and there are a lot of courses related to the commerce, journalism. There are students, but then the most trending one is the medical line, where they know that it's not just to become a doctor, but there are a lot of other courses which attract them, like other than nursing also there are so many different courses, so they are a lot interested in that.
So, I ran into some students that did not realize what the requirements were going to be in America to be able to be in the medical field. And so not
Yes.
only are you going to come in and you're going to start off your college, you're going to take the SAT for college admissions, but you're going to be in preparation for the MCAT. And along the way, you're going to go through different levels of your program. You're not going to automatically go right into medical school. You're going to start off with pre-med. And so it's very important to be a part of a school like ours, or ours specifically, because we already have the program set up, not just to help you right now with high school, but to come alongside of you and make sure that you're part of our community and that we can help you walk through every level of your program. So you can be with us and be a part of our community throughout your life. You have a home base, you have a place to call home. That is AEI, American K-12, that will help you reach those goals. How do you think families would feel about that? It's not like you're going to come in, take a course, and then you're done, but we will help you with your life goals. And if that's somebody that has long-term life goals, that's very important. It's not just a class you're going to take. It's not just a diploma you're going to get. It's not just admissions into college you're going to receive. This is a long-term life goal that you have. What do you think that the parents are going to think about that, and the students?
Parents are going to love it. Parents are going to love it because, it's not going to be possible for every parent to travel with their children to USA to drop them off, to ensure that, they've reached the place safely. And maybe later they will, once the children settle down and they get their annual leave, or, whenever it is possible for them, they can apply for a visit visa and then they can visit their children. But to come along with the children, it's not possible. Nor is it possible for them to go there physically and check out all the courses or get all the details. So if there is someone who has been an educationist for over a long period of time, who's highly experienced in this, is going to guide them, and not only guide them, but once their children reach them, they're going to be taken care of. Proper guidance is given till, and those children are going to become part of AEI. They're going to be members of AEI. So that'll make them feel really safe, that their children are in safe hands. So I'm really sure the parents are going to love this idea. Totally love this idea.
Yes, I think it's just a matter of people making a decision. They're already making a decision to study, but to know that studying in America is very possible. And it's much more possible when you're already part of AEI while you're learning and while you're already going through the coaching programs at the onset. So I do think that the parents are going to become aware of this. And so when they are, we are going to, again, we're going to be starting the classes this summer for the English acquisition and for the dual diploma. And those of you who are listening, who have already graduated, you can jump in the English acquisition, and there are the opportunities for you to receive the support of college admissions and the support of the TOEFL, the all that you need for those exams, depending on what region of the world you're in. So, but I understand that for you all, it's going to be the TOEFL, right? Or the IELTS,
yes,
right? Yes. So what other things would you like to say to the students, the people who are listening, are parents, their teachers, international teachers, and then their students that are international in different countries? What else would you like to say to them right now before we close out our session?
So what I would like to tell all those who are listening to us is that When I got introduced to the American curriculum through Dr. Lisa, it was an exciting journey for me. And for the last couple of months, I've been learning what is this, more details about the dual diploma and the English courses and all the courses that she offers. And I would urge all the students who are, interested in going abroad and studying, specifically USA, to join hands with her to listen to get all the details first, study it, understand it, because the greatest advantage is you will not have to study all the subjects once again. There are going to be a fewer subjects and you'll get two diplomas. So that's going to be a great advantage. You decide, to go to USA, it's going to be an advantage. If you decide to do it later, it's going to be an advantage. And also, they are going to be a perfect guide for you for career guidance, for choosing the right university, the right course. And once you're here, you're going to be part of AEI, and you'll attend a lot of workshops, and probably you will be conducting workshops at one particular stage along with them. So this is a lifetime opportunity for all of you. I urge all the parents and the students who are listening to this podcast to definitely join hands with the AEI for the benefit of their students. And I wish all of them the very best, and also AEI the very best in this venture.
Yes, Farah Masood, Farah ma'am to the students. Thank you so much for being our guest today and sharing all the valuable insights with what you're doing in your region of the world. Everybody stay tuned right after this, and you're going to see, we're going to revisit our program feature of the week. Thank you.